We have some big news involving President Donald Trump in Venezuela. He is issuing what appears to likely be the final ultimatum directed at the Venezuelan government and dictator Nicolas Maduro. And if the Venezuelans do not comply, we could then officially be on the fast track to a hot conflict between the United States military and Venezuela. We are going to get into exactly what is happening. There are a lot of moving parts here. This is a complex situation. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't really see how we're going to be turning the temperature down on this one. It seems like the United States government is dug in. Seems like the Venezuelan government is dug in. And unfortunately for Venezuela, one of those two countries has the world's strongest military, and it is not Venezuela. And that means this situation, if it gets spicy, is going to be real bad for Nicolas Maduro. So we're going to get into all the latest updates. Before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free, costs you guys absolutely nothing, and is a huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. So please do that for me. Comment with your thoughts below. How do you want to see President Trump handle Maduro? How do you want to see President Trump handle Venezuela? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. That way, whenever there's a new video, you won't miss it. You'll have the best information on the internet. You'll have the most up-to-date information on the internet. You won't miss a thing. So hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where I'm at on social media. My DMs are open. If you have any information or tips or just want to reach out and say hello, that's where you can do it. I love talking with everyone. You guys have been absolutely amazing. We got a lot of cool people watching this. So thank you for making this as fun as possible for me as well. Now let's get into it. We've covered this extensively on the channel, and that is the military buildup that is clearly directed at Venezuela. Now, publicly, and they are doing this as well, we are saying this, the military buildup is simply to counter drug trafficking in the Caribbean, counter narco terror groups, drug cartels that have been designated terrorist by the United States government. We have seen multiple different videos of these ships getting vaporized and blasted in the ocean. The government has released video of 3 different ships that have been hit so far. There was another ship that was shot up, but nobody was on it at the time. They took the people off and arrested them. And in that case, just sunk the ship. In 3 other cases, they did bomb the ships while people were still on them. These are clear signs and signals to the drug cartels that if you attempt to keep doing this, we are just going to keep blowing you up. On top of that, we have a naval armada stationed off the coast of Venezuela. I believe it's totaling about 1,200 cruise missiles is what is staged in that area. We have F-35s that have been positioned in Puerto Rico. We've got spy planes. We've got submarines. We've got thousands and thousands of Marines that are training, doing amphibious assault landing training. And all of this is clearly pointing our guns forward at Venezuela. This is clearly being done to smash the Venezuelan hold on power, would probably be the best way to say it. Maduro is a de facto cartel head running the government, cartel de sons or souls, depending on how you're pronouncing it. And they've been allowed to push their poison, pain, and carnage, their drugs into this country, as well as the worst members of their society. They let out, they flood them up here, and we all know the damage they cause on our communities. It's horrific. It's absolutely unacceptable, and it must end. And so Trump has made it clear he's not going to negotiate with Venezuela. He's going to tell them how this is going to go. And if they don't like it, there's going to be extreme consequences. So amid this military buildup, Trump goes on Truth Social on Saturday, September 20th. I'm filming this Sunday, September 21st. And he puts out, we want Venezuela to immediately accept all of the prisoners. So the people, the gang members we've rounded up here in custody in the U.S. These are Tren de Aragua members of other factions, but these are Venezuelans that the Venezuelan government is being accused of pushing into our country, and then they're unleashing all sorts of violence on our great people. All of the prisoners and people from mental institutions, which includes the worst in the world, insane asylums, that Venezuelan leadership, in quotes, has forced into the United States of America. Thousands of people have been badly hurt and even killed by these monsters. Get them the hell out of our country right now, or the price you will pay will be incalculable. So he is telling Venezuela, if you do not take these people back, If you do not take your gang members, your TDA members back, the price you are going to pay will be incalculable. And he's saying this while he's got 8 warships stationed off the coast of Venezuela, well within striking distance, that could strike at any time at a moment's notice. And don't think for 1 second we don't know where Maduro is. We absolutely do. And that leads me to this piece from the New York Times. It says U.S. military buildup in Caribbean signals broader campaign against Venezuela. Trump officials say the mission aims to disrupt the drug trade, but military officials and analysts say the real goal might be driving Venezuela's president from power. So this was also published on Saturday. It says the U.S. military strikes this month on 3 boats that Trump administration officials have asserted were smuggling drugs in the Caribbean Sea, have cast a spotlight on the sizable naval armada and aerial fleet of spy aircraft the Pentagon has dispatched to the region, and what it says is a counter-narcotics and counterterrorism mission. Military officials, diplomats, and analysts say a main purpose of the force is to ratchet up pressure on Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, as top figures in the Trump administration call him an illegitimate leader and accuse him of directing the actions of criminal gangs and drug cartels. This is a quote from Marco Rubio. We're not going to have a cartel operator and masquerading as a government operating our own hemisphere, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Fox News this week, adding that Mr. Maduro has been indicted in the United States and was a fugitive of American justice. There's a reward on his capture. So we have a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head. We've talked about that at length. That's not really being done so that people in the U.S. go down and try to take him out. It's being done in hopes that his own people in Venezuela rise up, some generals. And remember, we just had a top Air Force general from Venezuela defect to the U.S., likely handing over a gold mine of information, radar system locations, SAM battery locations, holes in their air defense systems. That defector is a game changer. We were going to win anyways, but now you just gave us all the information we need to hit these guys, hopefully in one quick strike. So it continues. The heavy military presence in the Caribbean, including F-35 fighters in Puerto Rico, suggests the United States plans to do more than blow up small vessels, analysts said. But the scope of the operation remains unclear. So again, this is what I'm saying. You don't use F-35s to target drug boats. You use them to defeat hostile air defense systems in contested airspace. They're a stealth fighter. You can blow up a boat with a drone or an MQ-9 Reaper or whatever you want to call it, 50 cal machine guns. You don't need an F-35 stealth fighter. That is meant for a much more strategic operation, and we are flooding them down to the region. So keep that in mind. It says the 4,500 member force currently aboard 8 warships is too small to invade Venezuela or any country harboring traffickers, and it is not operating in the main body of water to carry out a major drug interdiction campaign. That would be the Eastern Pacific Ocean, regional experts say. The clandestine deployment of elite special operations forces suggests that strikes or commando raids inside Venezuela itself may be in the works. So now they're saying we might have Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, maybe the Army Rangers, already in position to strike the drug cartels. That is huge news. If it is true what they are reporting, that we have tier 1 operators on standby in the region, ready to conduct covert operations in Venezuela behind enemy lines and strike a decisive early blow, that is huge. It says administration officials refuse to say what U.S. military action might come next. Asked on Air Force One en route back to Washington from Britain on Thursday if he had discussed regime change in Venezuela with Mr. Rubio or any of his military leaders, President Trump said no. So I'm going to pull this off the screen real quick. So, and we're going to get into one big piece of news here after I kind of break this down. We now, according to the New York Times, might have our most elite soldiers already in positions ready to hit these guys if necessary, matched with 1,000, 1,200 cruise missiles, 8 warships, F-35s. They are going to be able to overwhelm any defense Venezuela could put up. They're going to destroy any air defense system they have with their cruise missiles. The skies will be completely undefended as F-35s and other fighter jets soar in. And then on top of that, you would have commandos on the ground causing all sorts of chaos, causing all sorts of carnage on the ground, sabotaging things, doing coordinated hits possibly. It would be, almost like the movie Sicario, but on steroids because you would have fighter jets, you would have cruise missiles, you would have it all. So they are putting all the pressure on the world on Maduro. Now, do we think Maduro is panicking? Well, remember, Maduro cut communications, which is a clear sign that a war is about to start. What do I always say? When the talking stops, the shooting starts. So Maduro cut communications with the U.S., completely isolated his regime, and then all of a sudden, he's looking down the barrel of the U.S. military. And what do we have here from Reuters? Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro offered to engage in direct talks with the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump days after the first U.S. strike on a boat from the South American country that Trump says was trafficking drugs. So here we go. He wants to talk to Richard Grenell, who's like the special envoy, special comment. So we literally, after pull this off the screen. So Maduro first says, we're cutting communications. We're not going to talk to the Americans. We are geared up for total war. We believe we are about to be struck or invaded. And then he realizes, this saber rattling probably isn't a good idea because we're about to get crushed. And what does he do? Now he's begging for Trump to get on the phone with him. And instead of doing that, Trump is issuing another ultimatum, possibly the final warning. Incalculable damage will be done to Venezuela if they do not comply with Trump's demands. We're in the red zone. If we wanted to use a sports analysis term, we are in the red zone. The United States has driven the field. Venezuela is now scrambling. These guys talk so tough. Maduro talks so tough. He wants everyone to fear him. And don't get me wrong, he is a brutal dictator. Maduro is a brutal dictator. He has his boot on the throats of his people. And as I've said many times, our problem is not with the people of Venezuela. The people of Venezuela are good people. We like the people of Venezuela. They have been oppressed under the Maduro regime. They've been treated terribly. They've been silenced. He has killed his own people. He's arrested many of his own people. He is a piece of garbage. Our problem is not with the people of Venezuela, who certainly don't want to die for Maduro. Our problem is with Maduro. And he talks this big game. He talks so tough. He cuts communications. And then when he realizes he's about to get his world rocked by the United States military, he's going to get a front row seat to the power of the United States military. Now he's on the phone begging the United States to reopen lines of communications. These guys all know, all these dictators know, they can talk as tough as they want. But at the end of the day, when you get confronted by the power of U.S. military might, you have no chance whatsoever. Venezuela has 2 functional F-16s. 2. We have thousands of fighter jets. It's believed they have roughly about 30 old Soviet-produced fighter jets. What do you think those fighter jets against F-22s and F-35s are going to be like? They're going to get blown out of the sky before they even knew they were being targeted. That's the difference in capabilities here. And Venezuela poked the bear. They continue to try to send drugs up our way. They continue to allow drug boats to leave their ports, which we're blowing up. And now they're begging to get back on the phone with Trump. My, how quickly things have changed. They are panicking. Almost certainly even worse behind the scenes. They know what's coming, and they know they have no chance against it. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. How do you want to see President Trump continue after issuing this ultimatum to Venezuela? Do you want to see us strike? Do you want to see us take out Maduro? Do you think it's not our problem? Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing. Huge boost to the channel. Hit that bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me online. DMs are open. Send me any information you got. I'll see you all next time.